Hello and welcome to another video explaining how to draw different objects. So today we're going to be drawing a 3D cube, and this cube is going to be an open cube. So it'll be a bit like a box you've just opened from a delivery, for example. So we're going to start off with refreshing how to draw a cube, and then we're going to add extra detail to make it look open. So first thing we do is we have to draw the foreshortened square base of the cube. Foreshortened means it's been distorted because of perspective. Okay, so first we're going to draw the two dots here, one dot, and let's make it quite a big box today. And two, or big cube, should I say. And then we're going to go between the two lines and stop halfway between the two dots and go down a little bit and draw a third dot. Then we're going to go back up and we're going to go up this time a little bit and to the left or right. And those are the four corners of the square that forms the base of the cube. And now we're going to join those dots up again, like we did last video. Making sure you draw beyond the dots. Keep your lines nice and loose and gentle. Like so. So hopefully you can now see there is a foreshortened square here, distorted because we're looking at it from an angle. Now we're going to do the edges of our cube. So the edges need to be vertical lines and they're going to be parallel with each other. So first of all, we start from here. We do a nice gentle line up and we're going to stop just here. And we're going to do a dot at the top. Then we're going to do another line here of the same height. So we're going to be aiming for about there. Like so. And then we're going to draw the centre line, the centre edge, the one that's closest to us. Now, following the rules of drawing 3D shapes, this edge, because it's closer, is going to be longer. It will also be lower in the picture. So we're starting lower than these two lines started. We're going to aim to finish or end the line about here, not crossing this imaginary line between these 2 points. Otherwise the picture will look completely wrong. So we're going to aim for about there. So I'm going to go up nice and gently. Don't worry about going in a crooked line or anything. At the very top we're going to do another little dot for our corner. And then, just like last time, we're going to draw the fourth corner at the top. So I have to draw the line next. Keep making sure that this line we draw is parallel to all three of these lines. We're aiming to go above the midpoint, the imaginary line here, and we're aiming to be about there. So I'll draw the line up, all the way up, like that. And we draw another corner point. Okay, so now we've done the four vertical edges of the box, or the cube. So next is going to join them up. So we're going to do just like we did down here, nice, loose, gentle lines, joining them up. Nice and loose. Okay, now when we're drawing this cube, it's important to make sure, I feel, that this corner of the box, the furthest from, that this corner of the cube, furthest from the viewer, is slightly offset to this one. Okay, now we've got our cube. We're now going to make it into an open box. Okay, so that means we're going to keep this line here. Now I think, as we've all got boxes and packages from online websites and whatnot, when you open them, they have flaps you have to pull open. So we're going to draw those flaps now. This next bit will take a bit of time to practice, and it's all about drawing what looks right. So I'm going to draw an angled line away, not too long, and another one here, parallel with this line. And I'm going to draw another line parallel with this one up here, like that. And you can see, hopefully, we've now got a flap for the box. So we can do another one over here. Now, it doesn't matter what angle you draw this at, so it could be, let's do a different, completely random angle like that. Another line parallel to that. And then another line going across parallel to this line here. Like so. All right. So now we've got two flaps in our box. Now the front two flaps are not going to be up because they're going to be blocking the inside of the box. So they're going to be downwards. So do a line down, another line here parallel to the first diagonal line. And we're going to draw a line parallel to this one just here. Okay. And we've got one more flap to draw. So let's draw it over here. Let's keep it relatively the same angle, maybe a little bit steeper. You know the routine now. Parallel, parallel, parallel. Okay, and there's our box. Now obviously we need to do a bit of shading, and we also need to draw some of our lines thicker and remove some lines as well. So the first lines we need to get rid of is we need to get rid of any line that's in the way, behind this flap. So we get rid of this line here. And we can get rid of this bit of line here. And then for the other flap, we can get rid of this line here. Don't need it anymore. And this vertical line here. Okay. The back flaps, we can get rid of this one. And this line here. Okay. Now looking at the cube, the box itself, we're going to keep this line here. So we're going to go over it a little bit harder. I'm going to stop there though. And that line, we don't need it, this line here, because our box is not transparent. So we can get rid of that. And we can get rid of the base, the two back edges of the base square, and some of our loosely drawn guidelines. You notice that the corner at the back of the base square is actually more difficult to erase. And that's because I was using the point of the pencil, which always makes things more difficult to remove. Okay, so there's our box. Now we can go over some of the lines to give it a bit more definition. Okay, there's our box. Now the last thing we can do is determine the light source is coming from this direction. So we can do some shadow work. So going back to this side, I didn't erase these two guidelines, so I can use that to draw the shadow. Using the edge of the pencil, I'm going to draw the lines very carefully, but lightly. First starting heavily, and then we're going to gradually lighten up, pressing less and less until we're barely touching the paper. We go back over, increasing our pressure again until we get right to the base, and we can then press a bit harder. We can also do another hard line here to give the box some weight, like that. And that just leaves one more face to colour in, or two more faces to actually do some shading on. So this face, which we did last time, but we're not going to do the whole face now because we have the flap in the way. So very lightly colouring in. Okay. Don't worry if we go over the edge of the paper or the edge of the lines because this is a sketch. And that leaves one more face. Can you work out which face still needs to be shaded? Think about where the light source is coming from and which face is going to be facing away from the light source. Okay, so hopefully you've spotted this one, the inside. Now it's going to be a little bit darker than this face because it's also got the darkness caused by it being inside the box. So I'm going to press a little bit harder this time, not too hard. Again, we don't want to dominate our picture by doing our shading too hard. If you want to do the corners, you can do little circular motions to get into the corner. And there, is our cube, our box, our open box. Okay, so this is how to draw an open box. So remember, draw the cube like normal. So draw the 4 points at the bottom, join them up with loose lines. As usual, do the 4 vertical lines coming up, making sure they're parallel. Join the dots up again at the top. Then when you kind of draw the flaps, just make sure the diagonal lines are parallel to each other and these lines are parallel as well. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.